Anyway, welcome to At The Fix TV show right here on Hope TV. Yeah, this is your #1 Christian station where you look and live. Now, The Fix is all about informing, inspiring, and entertaining you. You know, kama watch The Fix, lazima ujue what's happening in Kenya, Africa, and around the world. You know, utakuwa unauliza sijui nini li happen wapi nini. Lazima ujue. And definitely, you know, there are a couple of lessons to learn. And so we have a segment today, you know, we call it Real Talk. Na leo Real Talk tuko na jamaa anaitwa Joseph Aishari. He's an author, he is a transformational speaker, and we're going to be having an amazing time with him also. Na kama vile Dabulo amesema kipaji is coming up, tuko na Bim Suzario mwenyewe, you know, Katonda wanje. You know, it's going to be happening right here. Lakini Real Talk nataka watch out, make sure na watch because kuna msi ata win like 3 books leo. Leo yani hii Mashujaa edition tuko philanthropic hivyo. So make sure tune in, tutapatia some books and based on our discussion. But we want to kick it off, you know, with an amazing team, you know, naita the A team yetu. You know, Ashley hapa, mambo Ashley.
Poa sana.
Richie?
Yes.
Niaje?
Asante.
Good to see you bwana. Habari ya Mashujaa Day bwana.
Mashujaa ilikuwa sawa kabisa.
Okay?
Yeah, kutulia tu.
Imekuwa very interesting Mashujaa manzi. Yeah. Kulikuwa na timu moja Uhuru Park, timu moja Bondo, Kisumu.
Timu nyingine Migori haikuwa na timu yote.
Migori haikuwa na timu.
Ilikuwa na viti. Na county commissioners
manze pika. Oh boy. Anyway, how's your day? How's your Mashujaa Day, Ashley?
It was good. It was good. Spent time with family. That was about it. They're the real Mashujaa for me. Yeah.
Tough act to follow. Yeah. Considering I just spent it. Maybe, well, I did something credible. Yeah, I spent the day with my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was celebrating 2 of my friends. It was the birthday. So tulikuwa tu tumeenda lunch kidogo. Yeah, I went to some place huko karibu na Spring Valley, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if it wasn't for their birthday, I wouldn't have gone to such a place.
Okay,
but,
actually, Julio ni Mashujaa tufanye hivi na feel philanthropic like size tu. So nataka uende kwa Facebook page yetu at The Fix TV show, you know, on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Chagua ile moja unataka. Ama tutumie Facebook. Enda Facebook, tupatie story of ule mse una celebrate in your life, you know, the person that you really consider a shujaa in your life. Post it there. The best story tutapata leo una win kitabu, you know. Tunaanzia tu hapo leo. Au sio?
Kama ni shujaa wako pia, unajua.
Don't be afraid.
Unaweza pen hiyo story. Unaweza kupatia leakage.
Sawa. Na pia unaweza engage na sisi Hope TV Kenya, Facebook and Twitter, Hope TV_KE, hapo ni IG. Na ukumbuke ku use the hashtag The Fix as you do that. Na pia unaweza SMS kama uko na some SMS monies 22232, do that and we can engage. Na wasi wako nje manze, www.hopemediakenya.org is a platform to stream us live. Let's hit straight, man. Week started on a really sad note. Sunday manze kulikuwa na bombing in Somalia.
Yeah.
You know, that saw over 300 people, actually more than 300, almost 400.
Close to 400 people.
Yeah.
Close to 400.
You know, lose their lives. We've not seen such a magnitude of a terror attack.
I don't think
This
there's ever
side.
been such an attack. You know, it's crazy. It's confusing because Mogadishu was experiencing some relative amount of peace.
Yeah.
It had actually been quite peaceful throughout this year, and then this happens. So, I mean, it's just sad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there are words to describe how this whole scenario has left us feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just sympathize. You really, really have to empathize, rather, with many of the people who lost their lives, the children who lost their parents. I saw a really, really sad photo of the children who went to their mother's shop just to collect what had been left.
Yeah.
You know? And it is really, really sad that such a thing can happen.
Yeah.
And with such magnitudes, you know, and the stories, people, there's a nurse who had called her family for her graduation.
Yeah.
You know, she was meant to graduate that week.
Yeah.
And then this happens right before. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, it's crazy, you know, that someone put a bomb in a truck. And just drove it right into a building, you know. And nearby those places, I was reading the story, it's like many government offices around that place, you know. And it's like they really knew this place, if I have the bomb here, it will have a huge impact.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it was very sad. One, I think the saddest part is that Somalia is trying to rebuild itself. There are a lot
Yes.
of Somalis who are moving back home to rebuild their own country because they feel like they deserve to regain the many years that they have lost as a country, and this sets them back again for some of these people, because you find that somebody sacrificed a good life, relatively good life abroad, and decided to come back home.
Yeah.
What's to say that if they survived that they would come, they'd feel safe staying at home. So it's
Yeah.
really sad, and I feel like the international community should have paid much more attention than they did to the whole incident, because at the end of the day, despite the fact that Somalia has been war-torn for a long time, they're still human beings and they belong to this world just like the rest of us do, and we need to be able to empathize with them as the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, condolences, you know, and we pray that God gives grace to all the people of Somalia who are affected by the incident, you know. So things are just so difficult to comprehend with the human mind, man. Yeah. Only God can give grace
Yeah,
and strength.
it's also,
Yeah.
as Paul says in Corinthians, He's the God of all comfort, who
Yes.
comforts us in all our affliction. So we really do pray that He stretches out His hand of comfort to the nation of Somalia, all the affected families,
Yeah.
so that they may know peace in the midst of all this hurt and in the midst of all this pain and terror. They may know peace. I think that's the biggest prayer we can make for,
Yeah.
for the
That's right.
country.
And if there's any way, actually, if there's any way you can assist, you know, look for ways, you know, there are platforms through Red Cross,
Red
you
Cross.
know.
We
There
have
are
a
people-
pay bill number,
yeah,
Kenyans
pay
for
bill.
Somalia.
Yeah.
There are also
Yes.
people donating blood,
Yeah.
which is needed. So yeah, there are
Yeah.
a lot of ways to do
Yeah,
it.
if
Yeah.
there's any way you can, you know, feel free to be able to, you know, support our brothers and sisters in Somalia.
Yep.
Coming back home, man, Dr. Roslyn Akombe, very strategic, man. You know, went to Dubai to,
Inspect
Oversee.
the printing,
but
the ballot papers.
decided to divert
Took
to
a
New York,
permanent
New
detour.
Jersey. Permanent detour.
Yeah,
What do you guys
that's-
make of the whole story, man? I know it's a really a lot political season in our country, you know, and it's,
Yeah.
the country is very polarized, divided. It was pretty sad for me to watch yesterday one huge group at Uhuru Park and another one in Kisumu.
Exactly.
I mean, that's not the Mashujaa Day we
Yeah,
No.
we envision.
or any
It
holiday.
just
that
shows,
we-
it
just
it's
shows,
a clear indication of the division
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
has affected our country.
you know, but it's important for us to have the conversation to see how we can, you know, day by day, you know,
Yeah.
one step at a time, get out of that
Yeah.
division, you know, and be united. So what do you make of the story of Roslyn? Sorry.
Well, Akombe, on one side, you want her to stay and ensure that the election is run really, really well, because I believe she was an asset. Chebukati lamented of how much of an asset she was to them, and that she was a really, really integral figure in the IEBC.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, she says her life was in danger.
Yeah.
She didn't feel safe. She didn't want to oversee an election that she felt wouldn't have yielded credible results. So, I mean, you can't start rationalizing the extent of someone's safety.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
one thing. We can't sit and say, no, she should have stayed, you know, or she was justified to leave, because that safety affects her. We don't know the psychological effect it has had on her ever since August or even before.
Yeah.
And then she mentioned something critical also, head of IT, Chris Musando.
Yeah.
He was tortured and killed, and that also left an effect on them, because they're saying they don't know why it happened, they don't know who did it. I mean, it's just, they're all in a cliffhanger. And so even for her, she was really, really genuinely fearing for her life.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Now, it leaves us with, we also ask Chebukati what would happen to him. Is he also safe?
Yeah.
We have Chiloba, we have other officials. I mean, the IEBC is under so much pressure from all quarters.
Yeah.
I
think at
it's-
this time I
it's-
wouldn't want to be Chebukati
Yeah.
or one of the commissioners. I mean, it's crazy pressure. I was just thinking about it, man. It's
Hey.
unimaginable.
Imagine.
You can actually have sleepless nights.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely sleepless nights. But I think for Rosaline, for me, honestly, in my own opinion, I
Yeah.
think she deserved to quit if she wanted to. Because at the end of the day, I don't think there's any job in this world that should come in between you and your life.
Yeah.
That is the thing. If you don't feel safe, if you don't feel like you will be able to live to see another day,
Yeah.
I don't think
It's
it's
not
worth
worth
it
it,
at the
yeah.
end of the day. I know there are a lot of things, speculations as to why she quit, theories, but
Yeah.
if those are the grounds that she went on, I totally support her. Lucky for her, she has dual citizenship. I wish
Yeah.
that
That's
was
the
me.
thing,
Man.
man. That's the thing. And then
Yes.
see, I think she's at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
Because she
like-
worked
I mean,
in
yeah, she
is
with the
a
UN
citizen.
in New York.
Exactly.
So settling is not
not an
really
issue.
difficult.
Yeah.
I think for me, the fact that she took a sabbatical from her job in the UN in New York to come to Kenya
Yeah. It
and
shows
serve her
patriotism.
country.
Yeah.
Shows patriotism.
Patriotism.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know KOT, there's a Jubilee truth and there's another NASA truth.
Yeah.
And
Sadly,
sadly,
that's
Sadly.
you know, because if you ask her,
truth has
really,
been-
they would say, you know, they are compromised.
she was a NASA
She was a
informer.
NASA what, blah, blah, blah. If you ask also a NASA guy, they will say, no, we want credible and fair elections.
Yeah.
You know, but only God knows the truth, man.
Yeah, it's
you
true
know,
at the
so,
end of the day.
Yeah.
But decision was hers.
I don't know what you guys think, you know, because it's not just even now politically. I'm
Yeah.
noticing even KOT, just today actually. If you guys, I don't know if you guys have seen that. Christina Shusho posted something, you know, in regards to Raila or something.
Really, yeah.
And she got some serious backlash. That guy said that people should know that Nigerians, South Africans, and CNN respects KOT.
They have been put on watch.
Crazy.
KOT can put you in a place you don't want to be
Exactly.
with their backlash. It's
And-
crazy.
And you know, at this time when everyone has their own opinion, their own people they're supporting, people are intolerant of other people's views.
Yeah.
In fact, you just need to see even small things. Like somebody could, I think somebody once posted something about some food from some community.
Yeah.
And the next thing you're seeing is people throwing backlashes at that person. Once there was even somebody who posted of a lady who was in need of blood in Kikuyu
Oh, yeah.
Hospital.
Yeah.
That was the worst I'd ever
That
seen.
thread was really
It was
sad.
horrible.
Yeah.
Because they're saying,
Please.
because she's a Kikuyu,
Please.
they don't.
Please,
get
let's be
blood,
tolerant.
You know,
Let's love each other.
a life is a
Let's,
life.
A
yeah,
life is a life. It doesn't matter where the person comes from. A life is a life.
That's
If you're
right.
not going to donate, please don't come and speak badly here. You know,
Yeah.
don't come and comment on things that trivialize the whole issue. This is somebody whose life is at stake.
Yeah.
But because of your political or tribal inclinations, you feel the need to come and post things that are necessary on that post.
Yeah.
I think we've been polarized enough. We don't need to do it anymore.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Yeah.
that's
Agreed.
true.
Agreed. It's a story. I don't know if you've seen Lupita Nyong'o has been training online as well, and she came out, you know, to speak about some Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein,
Yeah,
you know, who's been allegedly, you know, has some story about sexually abusing girls, you know, in the Hollywood, you know, trying to get some favor so that she can ensure they
from-
get some good deals.
Angelina
Yeah.
Jolie
Yeah.
to Lupita.
Yeah.
I think
The
about
who's and
24,
who's.
24 girls have come out from in
Over
Hollywood, you know,
24.
over.
And
Yeah.
more are still coming out.
Yeah, people are still coming out every single day. And I think, let me just first comment on something before we go into the whole Harvey Weinstein thing. Lupita, I think one of the news stations, Citizen on NTV, posted the whole story about Lupita and Harvey
Yeah.
and went to the comment section. Goodness, it went from being her own story to a political thing. That's where we've come as a country. I was so shocked. I was like, the girl does not even live here. You know,
Yeah.
she does not even live here. This is a story that is so personal. And you know, the problem with bringing in political stories and inclinations to such stories is that
Yeah.
you trivialize the whole matter.
We forget
And then
the
we forget
issue.
the issue that is at hand that is
Yeah.
very important to talk about.
Yeah.
Because Harvey Weinstein represents a crop of many people, many employers around this world,
Yeah.
and even in this country, who cannot be able to give any lady a position or a chance to grow in their field unless they bring in, they do favors for them,
Yeah.
and mostly sexual favors.
Yeah.
And we're at a point where we need to be able to stand up against these people, because the truth of the matter is, a lot of these ladies are qualified. Why don't you make men don't have to jump through the same hoops as
Yeah.
ladies do, despite that the fact that some of these ladies are even much more qualified than the men.
True.
Because they feel like we are still at a point where we are vulnerable and we can do anything
Yeah.
to get where we want to get. Or some of them even prey on the fact that some women are desperate for positions that they want.
Yeah.
And it happens even in this country. And some of them are very respectable men doing the same thing, only
Yeah.
that people have not had the courage to come out and say,
Yeah.
hey, this guy is the one who cost me my job. This guy
Yeah.
is the one who decided that I will not get a job because I have refused to give
sleep
in
with
to,
them.
to give in to their demands.
advances,
And
yeah.
some of them even go ahead and do what?
Yeah.
They make sure that the industry will not hire you.
Yeah, it's like
Uh-huh.
they blacklist.
They
Yeah.
blacklist you with all their friends. They say this girl is not qualified.
Yeah.
Yet you're qualified, but because you refused, you stood up to your ground, you decided that your moral authority will not be compromised on the basis of a job, then
Yeah.
you have to suffer for it. It is very brave of the women who came out to say what has happened to them.
Yes.
And I think more women should come out and say it. In Kenya, we had Anita Nderu coming out and speaking of her own ordeal. And you know, unfortunately, a lot of stories are not believable because even from childhood levels, and we have to talk about this even on family levels,
Yeah.
you find that a lot of small girls, you've heard these stories everywhere, they come and even tell their parents, so and so, uncle so and so decided they wanted to touch me like this. But your parents say, you must be hysterical. He cannot do that. And that is where the culture of silence begins.
Yeah.
Right straight from the family, right straight from school, such that even as an adult, somebody cannot be able to speak out and say,
Yeah.
this and this happened to me, because you're afraid of the backlash and the reaction that we'll receive from the people around us.
Yeah.
And it's time we change the narrative. It's time
Agreed.
we protected our girls, and it's time we protected each other.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for speaking so passionately
Ashley,
about it,
man.
You've- Message home. I don't know if Double O, you saw the story, Double O, of the Harvey Weinstein, the sexual abuse story. But there are so many girls, in our country, who maybe it's climb the corporate ladder, or in school,
Grades.
Yeah, you want to have good grades, and you got this lecturer and maybe seek some sexual favors or something, so that you can be given good grades. What are your thoughts about that? What's your message actually to young girls?
So Anita Nderu's post.
Yeah.
First of all, I think we also have a part to play as men. Try to look at them as your small sisters or big sisters. Sexual abuse is a really big thing. I'll even flip it in a different way. It's not only the lady side,
Yeah.
also on the men's side. There are
Yeah.
some,
Uh-huh.
actually, even for a man,
Yeah.
it's even harder to talk about it because of the ego and all that.
Yeah.
My take will be, I don't know, I think we need mentorship behind each and every sex, be it male or female.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'd say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Richie,
I
before we
think-
go for a break.
I think it reminds me of Paul speaking to Timothy.
Yes.
And telling him for advice to younger men and older men.
Yeah.
I mean, treat younger women as your sisters.
Yes.
Older men treat younger ladies as your
As
daughters.
That's right.
That type of love, that type of care that you would have for your sister or for your daughter is how we should look ideally at the ladies in society. I know there's also the narrative that, but she was dressed in a way that suggested,
Yeah.
we shouldn't be having such conversations in this day and age.
Yeah.
We are at fault. Some men are at fault because they actually go out and do it, and they pay them off, or they silence them, or they ruin their reputation, And some men are very good at doing that, by the way. And then there's also the issue of, I saw a friend of mine who was saying, good men also don't speak. Good men also don't speak out against sexual
Yeah.
harassment.
Yeah.
They don't say anything about it. Martin Luther King Jr. also echoed the same thing. The problem in society is not that they are evil people, but it's that the good people are not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
So, I've seen on social media the hashtag #MeToo.
Yeah.
The ladies were speaking about their own experiences. I don't know how we could help as men. You know, I tried, I tried thinking about any perspective you can bring it as a man, but it's such a touchy topic.
Yeah.
Sometimes as a man, if you get involved, you may look like you're misplaced or you're defending them or something like that. But the truth of the matter is, the good men in society also need to rebuke these men who have been caught or who are known to be culprits in such scenarios, in such situations.
Good place to end, man. We're going to take a break.